They say pressure creates diamonds. But what happens when the diamond fights back? When the world tries to break a young man, and instead he shines even brighter? This is not just a story about football. This is about fame, backlash, loyalty, betrayal, and a single moment that changed everything. This is the rise, the hate, the heartbreak, and the legacy of Shedeur Sanders. From the first day he stepped onto the field for Colorado, he was not just another quarterback. He was a headline waiting to happen. Cameras followed his every move, fans screamed his name, critics sharpened their knives before he even threw a single pass. He walked with a calm that made some admire him and others despise him, because confidence, when worn too well, becomes a threat. Shedeur did not just walk into stadiums, he entered like he owned them. Calm face, gold chains, diamond watch glimmering under stadium lights. He was making a statement without saying a word. Colorado was no longer quiet, no longer forgotten. They were loud, alive, and unapologetic. And at the heart of it all, Shedeur stood smiling, as if he already knew the outcome. But people don't hate you when you lose. They hate you when you win. And Shedeur started winning games no one thought Colorado could win. He led comebacks that silenced entire stadiums. He turned doubters into believers, if only for a second. He threw passes with a surgeon's precision, celebrated with a showman's flair, and walked off the field like it was all just another day at the office. Then it happened. That moment. The moment that changed the narrative forever. After a heated victory, he raised his wrist to the rival fans and tapped his diamond watch. Not a word spoken, but the message was loud. "It's my time!" The internet exploded. Some said it was legendary. Others called it arrogant, cocky, childish, disrespectful. The world picked a side. To his fans, he became a symbol of confidence in a world that tells you to stay quiet. To his critics, he became everything wrong with modern athletes. Flashy, spoiled, too obsessed with fame. But Shedeur did not flinch. He did not apologize, because he grew up with a father who told him, "Be yourself loudly. Never shrink for anyone." His father, Deion Sanders, a legend in his own right, stood beside him. Not just as a coach, but as a protector. He knew what fame felt like, what hate tasted like, and how heavy a last name could be when the entire world watches. He taught Shedeur that people will love you for your talent, but they will hate you for your confidence. So Shedeur kept playing. Stronger, sharper, more determined. Each touchdown was a response. Each throw a message. He did not argue with critics online. He let the scoreboard speak for him. But football is not a movie. Victories do not last forever. Soon, the season started to turn. Injuries hit, mistakes were made, and Colorado began to fall. The cheers disappeared. The same people who called Shedeur a star now called him overrated. They said he was a fraud, a social media quarterback, all style and no substance. They mocked his watch. They mocked his clothes. They mocked his last name. And suddenly, every camera that once adored him seemed hungry to capture his failure. He was sacked again and again. His offensive line struggled to protect him. He limped through games, pain shooting through his body, fingers bruised, ribs aching. But not once did he blame his teammates. Not once did he point fingers. He took the hits, stood back up, and lined up again. Because leaders bleed first. But behind the bright lights and bold statements, there was a side of Shedeur no one saw. A quieter, softer side. His teammates spoke about it, not on national television, but in whispers and late-night conversations. How he stayed up studying film when everyone thought he was only selecting outfits. How he paid for teammates' meals without telling anyone. How he checked in on players dealing with family problems. How he walked into practice saying, "We don't quit." Not today. But the world doesn't see quiet loyalty. It only sees loud watches. Then came the moment that silenced the noise. The one no one expected. Colorado was spiraling. The losses were heavy. The critics were louder than ever. And instead of posting motivational quotes or arguing back, Shedeur made a decision that changed everything. In the midst of chaos, he handed his offensive lineman the keys to a brand-new car. No big announcement, no flashy music, just a quiet gesture of gratitude. Because this lineman, despite all the criticism, had stood in front of Shedeur every game, taking the hits meant for him, protecting him when the world said he wasn't worth protecting. The video leaked online. The internet went silent. Then, it erupted. The same guy you called selfish just gave away a car to his teammate. He's more loyal than half of the people criticizing him. He doesn't just talk about brotherhood. He proves it, fans cried. Critics paused. And for the first time, people saw past the jewelry, past the fame, and into the heart of a young man shaped by loyalty, love, and respect. But even kindness comes with controversy. Some said it was staged. Some said it was all for publicity. They questioned his motives, his intentions, his authenticity. But here is the truth. No one gives away a car to stage a performance. No one bleeds, limps, and still shows up every day just for likes. This was not about cameras. This was about love. This was about a young quarterback saying, "I see you. I appreciate you. Thank you for protecting me when no one else would." Still, the hatred did not disappear. The internet does not forgive that easily. Every game was a war, not just against the opposing team, but against public opinion. If he won, they said he was lucky. If he lost, they said he was exposed. Every throw was a test. Every mistake became a headline. Every win came with an asterisk. But Shedeur kept going. Because for him, football was never about the fame. It was about family. It was about his father believing in him when the world did not. It was about his brothers, both by blood and by the locker room, who fought beside him. He wasn't just playing for Colorado. He was playing for his name. He was playing to show the world that confidence is not a crime, loyalty is not weakness, and bending under pressure is not an option. Through pain, through doubt, through endless criticism, he walked onto those fields with the same calm expression, because deep down, he knew something everyone else forgot. Storms don't apologize for being storms. He was bruised, but never broken, hated, but never silenced. He kept moving forward, not because it was easy, but because quitting was never in his blood. And when people ask, "Who is Shedeur Sanders?" they expect an answer like quarterback, athlete, celebrity. But no, he is something bigger. He is proof that you can wear diamonds and still have heart. You can be confident and still be humble. You can be hated and still be kind. You can be knocked down and still rise. He is not the villain they painted him to be. He is not the hero people begged him to become. He is something far more real. A young man trying to navigate fame, pressure, loyalty, and love all under the brightest spotlight in sports. So whether you cheer for him or against him, remember this: you do not have to like him. You do not have to agree with him. But you cannot ignore him, because Shedeur Sanders is not just a quarterback. He is a storm, loud, unpredictable, unforgettable. And storms do not ask for permission.